Emergency. Aurora Brown shocked as Janela Brown hospitalized after becoming critically ill. Hello friends, I am Elena. Welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The shocking turn of events in the sister wives family has left fans reeling. Janela Brown, one of the most beloved figures from the long-running TLC reality series, has been hospitalized after becoming critically ill. The news came as a sudden shock to viewers, family members, and even Janela's own children, who were caught off guard by how quickly her condition deteriorated. Among them, Aurora Brown, the daughter of Cody Brown and Robin Brown, was particularly shaken. She never expected to be facing such a terrifying emergency within the family, and the weight of the moment has left her stunned. Janela, who has always been known for her resilience, independence, and pragmatic outlook on life, had been living separately from Cody after their relationship fractured in recent years. Even so, she had remained deeply connected to her children and to the wider Brown family network. Her sudden hospitalization served as a reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly circumstances can change. For someone like Janela, who had often been the steady, level-headed presence in the sister wives narrative, to suddenly become critically ill felt unimaginable to many. When the news broke that Janela's health had taken a sharp decline, Aurora reportedly struggled to process what was happening. She had always looked up to Janela as a maternal figure, even though they were not directly mother and daughter. Within the complicated family dynamics of the Browns, relationships have never been simple, but Janela earned respect across all sides of the household. She wasn't just another wife in a plural marriage. She was a mentor, a caretaker, and in many ways a glue that had held parts of the family together. Aurora's shock was rooted not only in fear for Janela's health, but also in the sudden reminder of how fractured the Brown family had become in recent years. With Christine leaving, Mary stepping back, and Janela separating herself from Cody, the once unified plural marriage had disintegrated into several independent lives. For Aurora, still navigating her own path as a young adult, this was another emotional blow. The idea of potentially losing Janela brought with it a wave of grief and confusion about family, loyalty, and what it means to remain close in such a fractured dynamic. Inside the hospital, doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize Janela's condition. Reports indicated that her illness had developed rapidly and left little time for preparation. Family members rushed to gather updates, and Aurora was said to be particularly distraught as she sat by waiting for news. Fans online speculated about the cause of Janela's illness, with some wondering if stress from the ongoing family turmoil had played a role. While no official confirmation about her medical diagnosis has been shared publicly, the severity of her situation was undeniable. For Janela's children, Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah, the moment was equally devastating. Each of them has shared in their own way how much Janela means to them, and her critical condition created waves of concern throughout their extended family. Aurora, though not Janela's biological daughter, found herself overcome with the same level of fear. She understood better than most how much Janela had sacrificed to ensure the well-being of her kids, and the thought of losing her was unbearable. What made the moment even more emotional was the fact that the family had been drifting apart for years. Many fans remember that during the height of the Sister Wives series, the Browns lived under one roof or within close proximity, navigating the complexities of polygamy as a united, though sometimes conflicted, group. Today, that image feels distant. Janela's hospitalization reminded everyone that no matter the disagreements, heartbreaks, or separations, family ties remain powerful, and crises have a way of bringing people together. Aurora's shock and emotional reaction were particularly relatable to fans. At her age, facing the possible loss of someone she admired and cared about was almost too much to bear. Her vulnerability underscored how deeply the family's younger generation has been affected by the drama surrounding their parents. Unlike Cody and his wives, who made choices as adults, the children have often found themselves caught in the ripple effects of decisions made beyond their control. In this case, Aurora's heartbreak showed the real human cost of what had once been framed as a reality TV story. Meanwhile, the other wives, Mary and Christine, were also faced with the news. Christine, who has long remained close to Janela even after leaving Cody, was reportedly devastated but determined to be there for her friend. Mary, despite her own struggles with Cody, expressed concern as well. Robin, Aurora's mother, tried to comfort her daughter, but the weight of the moment was heavy for everyone involved. For Robin's children, especially Aurora, this was not just about a co-wife in the family structure. It was about someone who had been a role model, an example of strength, and a familiar presence throughout their lives. As updates from the hospital trickled out, fans flooded social media with messages of support for Janelle. Viewers who had followed her journey for years felt invested in her recovery. Many pointed out that Janelle had often put her health on the back burner while raising her children and navigating the chaos of plural marriage. The reminder that she, too, was vulnerable resonated deeply. Aurora's shock mirrored the reaction of thousands of fans who suddenly realized how much they cared about Janelle's well-being. In times like this, family divisions can seem insignificant compared to the urgency of health and survival. For Aurora, the emergency opened her eyes to the importance of cherishing relationships before it is too late. Her tears and emotional reaction reflected a universal truth. No matter the disagreements, no matter the separations, love and connection remain at the heart of family. Janelle's illness may have left her hospitalized and fighting to recover, but the outpouring of love has been undeniable. Her children have rallied around her. Her fellow sister wives, past and present, have been shaken into recognition of what truly matters. And for Aurora, the experience has left a lasting impression. She has been reminded of the fragility of life, the unpredictability of health, and the deep bonds that persist despite conflict. In the days to come, the Brown family will continue to navigate this crisis. Doctors remain focused on stabilizing Janelle and ensuring she receives the care she needs. Fans remain hopeful, sending prayers and positive messages. And Aurora Brown, though still shocked, has found herself reflecting on the strength that Janelle has always shown. If anyone can fight through a critical illness, it is Janela Brown, the woman who has faced countless challenges and always managed to rise above them. No matter what happens next, the family has been reminded of a painful but powerful truth. Emergencies like this reveal the depth of love and the importance of unity. Janelle's hospitalization may have begun as a terrifying shock, but it has also created an opportunity for healing within a fractured family. And for Aurora, it will forever remain the moment when she realized how much Janelle truly meant to her and how deeply. The world of sister wives has always been filled with complex relationships, shifting loyalties, and personal struggles that unfold both on and off camera. Over the years, viewers have witnessed marriages unravel, friendships tested, and a once tightly knit family gradually fragment. Now, one of the stars of the show has chosen to speak openly about the circle of loyal friends who stood by her side during one of the most difficult chapters of her life. She describes them as her true ride-or-die companions, the people who never wavered even when family bonds were strained beyond repair. For years, the family dynamic on Sister Wives revolved around Cody Brown, his 4 wives, and their many children. The structure was meant to highlight unity, resilience, and the concept of building a large, loving household where everyone found support. But as the seasons unfolded, viewers saw cracks begin to form. What had once been portrayed as harmony slowly revealed layers of jealousy, resentment, and deep dissatisfaction. The women, once bonded by faith and shared responsibility, started to drift apart. Tensions grew as Cody appeared to prioritize one relationship over the others, leaving several of his wives to feel abandoned and isolated. One star in particular found herself facing not just the collapse of her marriage, but also the painful reality of a fractured family. For years, she had sacrificed personal happiness for the sake of keeping the larger unit together. She endured criticism, put aside her own dreams, and often felt that her voice was drowned out by louder ones. When she finally reached the breaking point, she realized that stepping away from the marriage was the only path toward healing. But walking away from Cody also meant walking into a storm of uncertainty. How would her children react? Would the other wives support her? Would the fan base judge her harshly? These questions weighed heavily on her, creating long nights of doubt and anxiety. During this turbulent time, it wasn't her family who provided the deepest comfort. Instead, it was the friends she had quietly built relationships with outside of the sister wives' circle. These were women and men who saw her not as a sister wife or as someone tied to a famous polygamist family, but simply as herself. They listened without judgment. They stood by her when she cried, and they reminded her of her worth when the world seemed determined to reduce her to the role of Cody's wife. In her own words, she described these individuals as her ride-or-die friends, people who never asked her to explain or justify her choices, but simply offered unconditional loyalty. They were there during the late-night phone calls when she questioned her future. They were there when media headlines speculated about her every move. And they were there when she finally took the bold step of separating from the marriage structure that had defined her adult life. For the star, this loyalty was a revelation. Family, in her experience, had always been complicated. Loyalty within the family often came with conditions, with expectations that she conform to a certain role or suppress her feelings for the sake of peace. But her friends gave her something purer, love without strings attached. She explained that these friendships reminded her that she was more than a wife, more than a mother, and more than a reality TV personality. She was a woman deserving of happiness, respect, and freedom. Her admission about relying on her friends comes at a time when the Brown family is more divided than ever. The show has documented a series of separations, public confrontations, and emotional breakdowns. What was once marketed as an unconventional but unified family has, in many ways, fallen apart before the cameras. And yet, through that chaos, the star has found strength in forging a new identity outside of the group. She has leaned into business opportunities, pursued personal growth, and spoken candidly about the liberation that comes with making choices for oneself. It hasn't been easy. Critics have accused her of abandoning the family, of putting her own needs above the collective good. Some have even suggested that she used the show as a stepping stone to independence. But for every critic, there has been a loyal friend reminding her that she has nothing to prove. These voices have drowned out the negativity, allowing her to move forward with confidence. In interviews, she has emphasized that friendship for her is no longer something secondary. For much of her life, family obligations left little room for cultivating deep, meaningful friendships. There was always a household to manage, children to care for, or tensions to mediate. Now, she sees clearly that friends are not an afterthought but a vital source of strength. She has vowed never again to neglect those bonds because in her darkest moments it wasn't the family unit that saved her, it was her friends. She calls them her ride-or-die companions because they have proven their loyalty in ways that words can hardly describe. When others walked away, they leaned in. When her world seemed to collapse, they built her back up. And when she questioned her own value, they reminded her of her resilience. This unwavering support has become the foundation of her new chapter in life. Fans of Sister Wives have responded passionately to her openness. Many viewers have expressed admiration for her honesty, sharing that they too have learned the importance of chosen family over blood relatives. Messages of support flood her social media accounts, with fans celebrating her courage and encouraging her to keep moving forward. For those who have experienced fractured family dynamics themselves, her story resonates deeply. It is a reminder that loyalty and love can be found in unexpected places, and that sometimes friends truly become family. Looking ahead, the star is focusing on building a life rooted in authenticity. She is no longer willing to sacrifice her happiness for appearances or endure relationships that diminish her spirit. Instead, she is surrounding herself with people who uplift her, celebrate her achievements, and offer genuine companionship. Her ride-or-die friends are not just a comfort, they are a symbol of the life she has chosen to create for herself. As she continues to share her journey with the public, one thing has become clear. This chapter is not about loss, but about gain. She may have walked away from a marriage and a family structure, but she has walked into freedom, self-respect, and friendships that have proven to be stronger than any title or tradition. In opening up about the role these loyal companions play in her life, she has given fans a glimpse into the true meaning of resilience. Her message is simple but powerful. Blood may tie people together, but loyalty defines true family. And for her, that loyalty now rests with the friends who stood by her side when everything else fell apart. Kody Brown, the polarizing patriarch of the long-running TLC reality series Sister Wives, has once again stirred public conversation, but this time it is not about his marriages, his strained relationships, or his decisions about family property. Instead, the buzz is about his surprising involvement with the hit competition series Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. Kody's new role on the intense military-style reality program has not only caught fans off guard but also raised fresh speculation about what this shift could mean for the future of Sister Wives. For over a decade, Sister Wives has documented Kody's unconventional family life with 4 wives and their many children. The show became known for exploring the complexities of plural marriage, loyalty, jealousy, and the pursuit of unity within a fractured household. In recent years, however, the family has dramatically unraveled. Christine Brown left the marriage in 2021, shocking viewers and shifting the dynamic forever. Not long after, Janelle and Mary followed, leaving Kody in what appears to be a monogamous marriage with his 4th wife, Robin. The once massive family unit that fascinated millions has been reduced to fragments, and the tension has dominated the last few seasons. Now, with Kody's move to Special Forces, many are questioning whether he is stepping into a new career lane, and if that signals the end of his presence on Sister Wives. The military-inspired series, which features celebrities enduring brutal physical and psychological challenges designed by former special operations soldiers, is a far cry from the family-centered storytelling of TLC. For Kody to participate in such a show suggests not only a willingness to reinvent himself but also a desire to reshape his public image. Fans who have watched Kody over the years know he thrives on attention, and his controversial choices have always made headlines. But the move to Special Forces appears calculated. It is as though Kody wants to prove that he is more than just a divisive husband and father, that he has grit, strength, and endurance. He has often portrayed himself as the leader of his household, the one responsible for guiding his wives and children through trials. Now he seems to be putting those leadership qualities to the test in an environment where no family politics can save him. The question is, how will audiences respond? For longtime viewers of Sister Wives, this pivot is bittersweet. On one hand, it offers Kody the chance to be seen in a new light. Instead of focusing on his failings as a husband or his stubbornness in family disputes, audiences may see him struggling, persevering, and even bonding with other participants under extreme circumstances. On the other hand, the move threatens the future of Sister Wives. Kody is attempting to establish himself in new projects. What incentive does he have to continue the painful unraveling of his family on TLC? Industry insiders have noted that Sister Wives is at a critical crossroads. The show has thrived on conflict, heartbreak, and shifting family dynamics, but with Christine remarried, Janelle independent, and Mary pursuing her own ventures, there is little left to document beyond Kody and Robin's life together. Viewers have made it clear they are not as invested in watching a monogamous marriage play out, particularly one that is built on so much controversy. The departure of the other wives has drained the show of the plural marriage element that once made it unique. Kody's appearance on Special Forces could be a signal that he recognizes this. He may be preparing for a career after Sister Wives, one where he embraces the role of reality TV competitor rather than reality TV husband. It would not be the first time a reality star has made such a shift, but for someone as polarizing as Kody, the risk is higher. Will people tune in to root for him, or will they watch hoping to see him fail? Either way, it guarantees attention, and attention is what has always kept Kody relevant. There is also the question of how Robin feels about this new venture. Robin has long been painted as the wife most closely aligned with Kody, the one who gained the most after the family fractured. Yet her position has made her deeply unpopular among many fans, who view her as complicit in the breakdown of the larger family unit. Kody is moving toward new projects. Robin may be left to face the collapse of Sister Wives on her own. TLC may attempt to craft a storyline around her, but without the broader family conflict, it is unlikely to have the same draw. At its heart, this situation highlights how reality TV stars must constantly evolve to maintain relevance. Kody Brown has been on television for well over a decade, and the narrative of his family can only stretch so far. By entering Special Forces, He is diversifying his public persona, showing himself as more than just the man who lost control of his plural family. Till the transition is fraught with questions. Can audiences forgive his past behavior enough to root for him in a new context? Can he withstand the intense challenges of the show without damaging his reputation further? Some fans have speculated that Cody's new role could actually revitalize Sister Wives. If he performs well, it could bring new viewers curious about his story. If he struggles or even quits, it could become yet another dramatic chapter in the ongoing saga of Cody Brown. Either outcome creates material for TLC to weave into the show's narrative, perhaps positioning Sister Wives as a reflection not only of family life but also of personal reinvention. Others, however, believe this is the beginning of the end. With the original premise gone and the central figure seeking new opportunities, the show may have run its course. Fans have grown weary of Cody's excuses and his inability to maintain harmony. His shift toward personal glory projects rather than family unity underscores just how far the family has drifted from its origins. What once began as a story about love, faith, and resilience has become a story about collapse, estrangement, and self-promotion. In the broader landscape of reality television, Cody Brown's move is not unusual, but it is significant. It reflects the reality that stars must either adapt or fade away. For Cody, the path forward seems clear. He wants to remain in the spotlight, but perhaps not in the same way as before. Whether that means the curtain is closing on Sister Wives remains to be seen, but fans are bracing for change. As audiences prepare for the next season of Sister Wives, they will watch with a new perspective. Every move Cody makes on Special Forces will be dissected and connected back to his family life. Every struggle, every tear, every outburst will feed speculation about his character and his future. And while Sister Wives has always been about more than just Cody, it is clear that his actions, on screen and off, remain central to the story. When Sister Wives first premiered on TLC in 2010, the show promised viewers an intimate look at the lives of Cody Brown and his four wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin, who were navigating the challenges of plural marriage while raising a large family. The heart of the series was the idea of unity, shared sacrifice, and the belief that a polygamous lifestyle could work if all members contributed equally. But as the seasons unfolded, it became increasingly clear that the dynamic between Cody and his youngest wife, Robin, was far from balanced. Their relationship was not only seen as inappropriate by some fans, but it also sparked tensions within the family itself, eventually leading to the breakdown of the Brown household as viewers once knew it. Core of the issue began with timing. Cody was already married to 3 wives before Robin entered the family. For over 16 years, Mary, Janelle, and Christine had worked together to build a functional, though sometimes strained, plural household. They shared childcare, financial responsibilities, and the emotional burden of navigating jealousy. When Robin joined, however, the chemistry of the group shifted dramatically. Instead of integrating seamlessly into the established dynamic, Robin seemed to receive more attention, affection, and prioritization from Cody than the other wives did. This imbalance was the first sign that their romance was different, and not in a way that supported the foundation of polygamy. Polygamy relies heavily on fairness and balance. Each wife is supposed to feel that her relationship with the husband is equally valued. This principle is what allows the wives to coexist without feeling overshadowed or unloved. But with Robin, fans and even the other wives noticed that Cody often bent the rules. From spending extra nights at her house to making financial decisions in her favor, Cody gave Robin advantages that undermined the very structure of their family. For example, during moments when Mary, Christine, and Janelle were struggling emotionally, Cody was often unavailable to them because he was wrapped up in Robin's needs or her children's integration into the family. This favoritism turned what was supposed to be a plural marriage into something much closer to monogamy. The inappropriateness also stemmed from the public displays of affection. While Cody maintained a relatively modest demeanor with his first 3 wives, fans quickly noticed how physically affectionate he was with Robin, even in front of the cameras. From holding hands to stolen kisses, these moments highlighted a level of passion that was rarely, if ever, shown between Cody and the others. To the wives who had been with him for decades, this was not only disrespectful but also humiliating. Christine, in particular, was vocal about feeling left out, saying more than once that she struggled with watching Cody lavish Robin with attention while she felt neglected. Financial strain also played a major role in why their romance seemed inappropriate. The Brown family was already navigating the difficulties of supporting a large household, but when Robin joined, new challenges emerged. Cody took on the responsibility of adopting Robin's 3 children from her previous marriage, which required significant legal and financial commitments. He also invested in providing Robin with a home and resources that outpaced what the other wives were receiving. From the outside, it looked as if Cody was building a new life with Robin while leaving the others to fend for themselves. The imbalance reinforced the perception that his romance with Robin wasn't simply a natural addition to the family but rather a disruptive force. Religion was another factor. The Brown family had originally justified their lifestyle through their faith, teaching their children and the public that polygamy was about selflessness, spiritual growth, and shared responsibility. However, the way Cody and Robin carried out their relationship contradicted those teachings. Instead of demonstrating sacrifice and equal treatment, their bond displayed favoritism, indulgence, and a clear hierarchy. For some viewers, this exposed the hypocrisy in their original claims and damaged the credibility of their religious defense of polygamy. The other wives also expressed feelings of betrayal. Mary, who was the first wife and had been with Cody since the beginning, struggled deeply with his attachment to Robin. She admitted on multiple occasions that she felt discarded and unimportant. Janelle, often the most pragmatic wife, even noted that Cody's energy and attention were focused almost exclusively on Robin. Christine, meanwhile, ultimately decided to leave the marriage, stating that she could no longer handle the neglect and lack of intimacy. All of these outcomes point back to the fact that Cody and Robin's romance was not conducted in a way that respected the foundation of their plural family. From the audience's perspective, the favoritism was so blatant that many questioned why the show continued to portray the family as plural at all. In practice, the Brown family looked more and more like a monogamous marriage between Cody and Robin, with the other wives left on the sidelines. Fans criticized Cody for leading the other wives on, keeping them tied to a marriage in which they were clearly second-tier partners, while Robin enjoyed a more traditional husband-wife relationship. Another inappropriate element was how Cody and Robin sometimes dismissed the feelings of the other wives. Instead of acknowledging the pain their bond was causing, they often framed the other wives as being jealous or difficult. This gaslighting left the women questioning themselves while excusing Cody and Robin's behavior. Robin, in particular, was frequently accused of playing the victim, presenting herself as misunderstood while benefiting from the majority of Cody's affection and loyalty. Ultimately, the inappropriateness of Cody and Robin's romance was not about their love for one another but about how their relationship was prioritized above all others. Love in a plural marriage is expected to be evenly distributed, even if imperfectly. Cody and Robin's connection made that impossible, eroding the trust and balance that the Brown family had claimed to uphold. Over time, it became clear that their romance not only fractured the family but also contradicted the very principles they had once stood for. The fallout has been undeniable. Christine has left the marriage, Mary has moved on with her own life, and Janelle has distanced herself from Cody as well. What remains is essentially a monogamous union between Cody and Robin, the exact opposite of what the show set out to explore. For fans who followed the Browns from the beginning, this shift has been both frustrating and heartbreaking. The romance that was supposed to symbolize growth and inclusion ended up dismantling a family and exposing the cracks in a belief system that once seemed unshakable. In the end, the story of Cody and Robin's romance serves as a cautionary tale. In any relationship, but especially in plural marriage, balance, fairness, and respect are crucial. When those values are abandoned, love can quickly turn into favoritism, and what might feel right for two people can devastate the lives of many others. That is why so many fans and even family members alike have concluded that the way Cody and Robin carried out their romance was never true.